And the Rebbe was, of course, connecting the Parsha of the week with the idea of the Parsha of the week being Va'era, with the concept of Geulah. Derech Agav, the Rebbe mentions a very interesting thing, which I won't tell you yet, but it's a fascinating thing. I don't recall this, but I must have seen this on a previous occasion, and I will point it out to you concerning what takes place by every marriage, certain very special visitors. So we're going to start from the middle over here, which means on the second column, right under Ois Vav. The Rebbe is busy explaining that Va'era el Havaya, Va'era el Avram Yitzchak v'Yankiv, that when it says at the beginning of the parsha that Hashem appeared to Avram, Yitzchak v'Yaakov. Yeah, we got it.
He's probably come tonight.
Oops. So the idea that Va'era Avram Yitzchak v'Yaakov is talking about that the Avis, the fact that Hashem appeared to the Avis before Matan Torah, the avodah of the Avis before Matan Torah is an introduction, is a precursor, is a preface to be able to attain the level of Matan Torah. And at the very same time, the Rebbe explains that it's different what the Avis did before Matan Torah to what happened after Matan Torah. In a similar vein, the Rebbe is going to explain that what we are doing now is a preparation and a precursor for Moshiach's times. So first he's going to explain about what Matan Torah accomplished and what the Avis did prior to the Matan Torah. So again, second column, right underneath Ois Vav, 3 paragraphs on the bottom of the page. Achidush the Matan Torah. B'nei Geulah l'bnei Yisrael v'yodim gam ba'olam, the novelty and uniqueness of the giving of the Torah. Concerning the Yidden, and through the Yidden, this was also accomplished in the world as well. It's not only concerning what was drawn down below, that Hashem's very essence came down here below through Matan Torah. It's elegam ubeikir b'negel hamshachas ha'etzem. In other words, the first one is not about the essence. The first point is just that godliness was revealed down here below. The second point, the chiddush, the novelty, is what aspect of Hashem was revealed below. Hashem's very essence came down here below. When you see that Hashem is so unlimited that nothing could stand in his way, even down here below, there could be a revelation of Hashem. That is an indication of Hashem's very essence. Hashem's very essence is not bounded and not categorized and defined by anything. Therefore comes down in every place. There's a very interesting mashal for this in Chassidus, that if a person could explain very, very deep ideas, a person that's a genius, but he could explain very deep ideas even to a simple person, similar to what it says about Shlomo Melech. He was able to bring things down 3,000 levels through 3,000 mishalim. That's the true revelation of the person's essence. He's not trapped within the world of intellect, and I can only communicate with people who are also intellectual, but rather I can be everywhere. So the fact that Hashem can come down into this world, that's the expression of Amshachas Ha'etzem. And now the Rebbe says, even though that is the uniqueness of Matan Torah, but it began, the Avis began the process even before Matan Torah. And also the drawing down of Hashem's essence through coming down here into this world was to be found by the forefathers, by the fulfillment of the mitzvah of Milah, which is Hamshachas HaKedusha Beguf Gashmi B'Olam Hazeh Gashmi. Through the bris, they are drawing down holiness in a physical body, in this physical world. Yet, it's still not on the level of Matan Torah. Since it doesn't come down here in the world, down here below in actuality, it's not recognizable that the essence is manifest. When we say what is the manifestation of the essence, that because he's unlimited, he has no boundaries, he has no limitations, he can come down everywhere. So it's not quite that, because it's only in this mitzvah. It doesn't manifest itself throughout the world in every aspect and component of the world. Only after the giving of the Torah, that there comes the drawing down of holiness in the world. The essence is something that's recognized and becomes manifest openly. So this is a very important part, and this is going to be important what we're going to say later. There is the drawing down of the essence, and there's the revelation where it's manifest and seen that. Still and all, the hakoyach lamshachas ha'etzem, why they are others, ve'eda al others, that the power to draw down the essence is through the forefathers. Like it says, and I appeared to the forefathers. Here's like the famous question. Right away in the beginning of our parsha, it says, ve'eda al Avram al Yitzchak al Yaakov, that Hashem said, to Moshe Rabbeinu, I appeared to Avram, Yitzchak and Yaakov. Comes Rashi and says, Ella Avos. That's his commentary. That's his explanation. What does that explain? What does that add? We know Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov are the forefathers. But the point is that Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov are the forefathers, meaning they give us, the children, the empowerment. Just like parents give their children and give over inheritance to their children, so too the Avos, it's not just the Avos were great people, but by we're not just talking about Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov as great people, but specifically we're talking about them as being our forefathers. Because the avoid of the children that followed Matan Torah is primarily more so than what the Avos had, the clothing and involving themselves in the boundaries and the definitions of the world. In other words, dealing with the limitations of the world. Top of the next column, Elyon v'tachten, both that the limitations of the world involve that there is above and below. Masha'enkin avoidus Avos as opposed to the avoid of the forefathers. Ikara mitzad etzem haneshama. It's primarily something resulting from the essence of the soul. And by this power, Nasis avoidus habanim becomes the avoid of the children. Shiur and yoni avos, like I mentioned before, that children inherit whatever their parents are about, and then they manifest it. They don't just take the essence, but their job is to take the essence now and reveal it. Through that they reveal and they permeate the essence in their service down here below. That is the ultimate drawing down of the essence that we said before. There's no limitations on it. So here's where he says a fascinating concept that I told you. It's an amazing thing, and it's only like parenthetically speaking. It's not. It doesn't really matter for the whole concept that the Sicha is talking about over here. So the Rebbe says v'yesh loimer. We could say, by the way, when the Rebbe uses the word yesh loimer, this means this is a chiddush of his. You're not gonna find, I believe, where the Rebbe says yesh loimer, that it's brought down in Sfarim of the Rabbeim, and perhaps in no other Sfarim ever. So this is, here we're looking at something that's solely a chiddush of the Rebbe's. So he says, Shebematan Torah, Shu Inyan HaNesuyim de Knesset Yisrael, Im HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yoim Chasunose Zeh Matan Torah, Boim Mishtatvim Gam HaAvos Avram Yitzchak v'Yaakov, that they're giving of the Torah, that's the marriage of the Yidden with Hashem. Like we say, Yom Chasunose. It says, Send the Verena B'nai Sion B'melch Shloimoi Yom Chasunose B'yom Simchas Liba. It says, go out and see daughters of Zion in the king Shloimoi, which is going on Hashem, who's the Melch Shashalom Shloi, in the day of his wedding. What's the day of his wedding? Matan Torah is the day of his wedding. Boim Umishtatfim Gam HaAvos Avram Yitzchak Yaakov. Participates also the forefathers. So in other words, Just like Geshem Shebesimchas Nesuim Dechol Chosm V'Kal B'Yisrael Boim Mishtat V'Mareim V'Zikneim Zikneim Gimel Doides, just like in the marriage of every Chosn and Kal by the Yid, the parents and the grandparents and the great-grandparents for 3 generations come to participate. Gam Elu Shnimtzoim Kvar Boilam Ha'emes, also those that are to be found in the world of truth. So therefore, just like by our personal weddings it's that way, so too it's by the wedding that we had with Hashem, by Matan Torah, that the Ovis came and participated. So actually it is going to have a little bit of impact of what he's saying here now. But this is emphasized Aleph. The work that we are doing after Matan Torah, that the children are doing after Matan Torah, after the wedding of Matan Torah, is empowered by the forefathers that came to the wedding. In other words, that's the idea, that they're participating and coming to the wedding to empower us. The power of the forefathers, what we do after Matan Torah is bring to fruition, bring to a revelation the avoid of the forefathers. Okay, that's really more of a summation of everything that was going on in this Sicha from the beginning of the Fabrengen up till this ice. I just took out the main point at the end. Here, based on this idea of this relationship of the Ovis before Matan Torah to the work of the children after Matan Torah, the Rebbe is going to make the same comparison between what we are doing now, before Moshiach comes, to what's going to occur after Moshiach comes. Oy Zayin, 3 paragraphs on the bottom. First column. We could add to explain about the content of the idea that my name, Yudke Vavke, I did not make it known, which is what it says at the beginning of our parsha. I appeared to the Ovis, but I did not let them know my name, Yudke Vavke, which was Hamayim Hamatziv, Shalifni Matan Torah. That was the state before giving of a Torah. That's what we say. Matan Torah, Hashem would finally reveal himself with the name Yudke Vavke to the Jewish people, but the Ovis, they did not have the revelation of Yudke Vavke. So the issue that the Rebbe is going to bring up, this is being taught to us, Gam la'achri Matan Torah. It's being taught even after the giving of the Torah. That means, since the Torah is everlasting, there must be this concept also after the giving of the Torah. Shariat Torah in Nitzchis, because the Torah is everlasting. The Lechura seemingly, Kivim Shekvar Avro Alfi Shonim Yoshin is Galashim Avai Matan Torah, since thousands of years passed from when it was revealed the name Yudke Vavke in the giving of the Torah. Ma Shaykh Ata in the Shmi Havai Leonadaiti. How is it applicable now that my name Havaya was not let known, was not made known? Seemingly, that's in the past. Now, after Matan Torah, my name Yudke Vavke, the Eibusher's name Yudke Vavke was revealed. So the Rebbe is going to explain, in regards to and in comparison to the revelation of Mashiach's times, now is also a period of Shem Havaya not being known. Yes, Shlomo Rabbi Rebbe, we can say the explanation is this. Though by the giving of the Torah, it was a revelation of the name Yudke Vavke, you will know that I am Havayim. Still in all, since by the future times it says, that Havaya should be for me, for a God. That should be a revelation from a much higher place. Till the name Yudke Vavke will be considered only like Elikim. That's what it means. That what is Havaya now, which is a much higher level than the name Elikim. Elikim, Chassidus explains, has to do with symptom constriction, and Havaya means beyond any constriction. So, but in comparison, when Mashiach comes, what the Havaya that we're talking about now, the Yudke Vavke we're talking about now, will be only a constricted level. Mashiach comes, a much higher level of Yudke Vavke will become revealed. Iker Inyan Gilui Shmoy Hagadol, the main idea of the revelation of his great name. Nimtza comes out, Shagam Hamayim Matzav Shalachri Matan Torah, also the state and situation after the giving of the Torah. Uba'oifen the Shmi Havaya Loina Datim, that still my name Havaya, the real Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, the ultimate level of Yud-Kei Vav-Kei did not become known. In comparison to the revelation of Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, it will be in the future when Moshiach comes. It says that when Moshiach comes, the whole idea of the giving of the Torah will reach an unbelievable level. True, on the one hand, Matan Torah is a one time, and that's it. But still, in all, we say the Torah Chadashim Iti Teitzei. When Mashiach comes, a new Torah will come out from me, meaning that the Torah will be renewed on a much higher level. So, since the Shem Havaya that we speak about, that was revealed, is connected with the giving of the Torah. So when Mashiach comes, there'll be the ultimate Torah will become revealed. So therefore, as well, the Havaya that's related with the giving of the Torah will be of a much higher level. Then it will be the completion and perfection of the marriage of Yidden with Hashem. Chazal say, this world, from the giving of the Torah until Mashiach comes, that's like the first step in the marriage process, the giving of the ring, what's called in halacha erisin or kedushin, betrothal, translated in English, whatever that means exactly. I'm not going to get into that. And then Li'imoisa Mashiach, when Mashiach comes, that's going to be you and the Suyim, that's going to be the completion of the marriage, the going into the Yichud room, etc., etc. The explanation in this idea is how that is the higher level of Yud-Kei Vav-Kei when Mashiach comes. Just like it was explained previously concerning the level of the quality of the Bnei Yisrael after the giving of the Torah, Lagabe Avodas HaAvos, Lifnei Matan Torah, in comparison to the avoid of the forefathers before the giving of the Torah, Shadafke the Amshach Lamata Lachri Matan Torah Ba'etzem, only through being drawn down below. After the giving of the Torah, the essence came down. As long as it didn't come down here below, that's indicative it's not the essence, because only the essence has no boundary, like we said before. So too, it's concerning the advantage of Mashiach's times, concerning our times. Where do you truly see that the essence is unlimited? Not just that it could come down here below, but more so that it can even be revealed down here below. Essence is, again, there's no limitations on it, and it doesn't even have to be concealed. Surely could also come down in a state of revelation. Since in our actions and service in the fulfillment of Torah mitzvahs, what happens now after Matan Torah? It's only that the godliness is drawn down here, but revealed, we don't see godliness. But the revelation down here below in this physical world will only be in the future times when Moshiach comes, like it says, that the glory of Hashem will become revealed and all flesh will see, etc. As long as the revelation did not occur down here below, it's a proof that this is not the essence. Obviously, because or else it would have no limitations, even the limitations of revelation. Just like the service of the Yidden after the giving of the Torah was only by the power and empowerment of the forefathers prior to Matan Torah. Because after the giving of a Torah is emphasized primarily the drawing down in the, what's called the revealed levels. Before Matan Torah you have the essence, you don't have the revealed levels of godliness being permeated, because you only have it very, very limited and very, very a very essential bond. In a similar vein, Hashlemus, the La'asad Lavai, the ultimate perfection of Moshiach's times. Top of the next page. He bekoyach ha'avoda b'zman hazeh. It's by the power of avoda at this time. Kivin shala'asad lavai mudgish be'ikar ha'gilui ba'olam. Since when Moshiach comes, it's primarily emphasized the revelation in the world. Ve'ilu b'zman hazeh, as opposed to these days. Befrat b'zman ha'gos, especially in the time of exile. Mudgesh as be'ikar ha'avoda shemitzada etzem. It's primarily emphasized the avoda that's a result of the essence. Kidu, as it's known, what is it about the Geulah that we see so much more about the essence? Because in the time of exile, we need self-sacrifice. Now, self-sacrifice doesn't have to be limited, the Rebbe says, to literally giving up one's life. Self-sacrifice can also be about the overcoming any types of external challenges, even though they're scoffers, Dr. Rebbe says, and so on, the person still does Torah mitzvahs. So this is primarily found in the time of Geulah, where in the times of the Beis HaMikdash, where there wasn't this challenge, you didn't see the revelation of the person's essence. They didn't have to reach deep down to their essence to be able to reveal that. Also the perfection of Moshiach's times, Klula b'koyach etzla Avis, is to be contained potentially by the Avis even. Going back, all the way back to Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, they weren't only a precursor for our Avodah after Matan Torah, but they already included in their Avodah what would happen when Moshiach comes. Maimer Chazal said, 3 people Hashem gave them a taste similar to from the world to come. Avram d'chsiv bei bakoil, that Avram, it says that Hashem berechs Avram bakoil, and Yitzchak d'chsiv bei Mikael, it says that Yitzchak says Mikael asher titen loy aser esrenulach, from everything that you give me I will give meiser. Yaakov d'chsiv by Koil. Yaakov told Esav when Esav wanted to show his largesse, so Yaakov told him, "Don't worry, I have Koil." The Iker Shleimus Gilizeh, the primary time of the revelation of these levels, Loidak me'ein olam haba, not only similar to the world to come. Geulah and love will be when Moshiach comes. Then it will be the ultimate perfection of these 3 things. Not only will the forefathers have it, now it's only the forefathers have a taste of the world to come. But when Moshiach comes, we'll all have the levels of Bakoil, Mikol, Koil, Gametz, Kobnei Yisrael by all the Yidden. Why will all the Yidden be entitled to it? Since all of this occurs through the avodah of the Yidden that we are doing now. So since we are the ones that are bringing this about, so therefore this is what occurs. By the way, Koil is the numerical equivalent of 50, which has to do with the 50 gates of Bina, which is the highest, most possible revelation, which is connected with Moshiach's times. Now the Rebbe is going to connect it with the parshas of the Torah. Shmois, Va'era, and Boy. Let's see it inside. Oisches, bottom of the first column. V'yeshloimar, we could say, Shleim is Hagilui D'Shem Havayda Los Lovi, the ultimate revelation of the perfect level, the highest, most level, the ultimate level of Shem Yudke Vavke when Mashiach comes. It's incomparable to the Yudke Vavke that was revealed by the giving of the Torah. We say that nowadays, post Matan Torah, in comparison to Moshiach's times, it's called My Name Havai was not known to them. If there's any comparison between the two, you can't say My Name Havai is not known to them. From the fact that now at present we are still saying My Name Havai is not known to them, even after Matan Torah, that's because the name Yud Kei Vav Kei that we are connected with now after Matan Torah is incomparable to the name Yud Kei Vav Kei that will be when Mashiach comes. He says, Merum is beparsha, shemaschilim likre bezman mincha, the Shabbos parshas ve'eda parshas boy. This is hinted, the idea of this perfect level of Shem Havaya. That's going to be when Mashiach comes, is hinted in the parsha that we're going to read on mincha time of Shabbos parshas ve'eda, which is, we begin parshas boy. Al pasuk vayomer Hashem al Moshe, boy el Paroi, on the pasuk that Hashem told Moshe, come to Paroi. So Isa b'Zoyar, Zoyar looks at everything in its most secret inner message. So it's brought down in the Zoyar, the Ayelei Kutchebrichu, that Hashem brought him in. Boy is from the word come. Idrin Basar Idrin. Legabe Tanina Chade Ilah. Rooms within rooms, chambers within chambers, before the great serpent, the great one serpent above. We know that in the Haftorah, in the Navi, Paroi is likened to the serpent that is like crouching within the Yair, within the swamp, within the Nile. Everything that's here, down here below, has its corresponding opposite number above. So just like there's a Paroi down here below that Moshe Rabbeinu had to enter in this world down here below, so he had to enter before a higher level of, or maybe in the level of Klippa, which had this great serpent. And it said Moshe Rabbeinu was very fearful of that, and that's why Hashem had to bring him in and say, come with me. And the root of that level in Klippa, so the Rebbe goes on, the third line, and its root in the level of Pari of Kedusham, it says that Yosef told the people of Mitzrayim, when they didn't have any money to pay for the food during the second year of the famine. So Yosef told them that, okay, you need to give all of your fields to Paroi, and you will only be like tenant farmers. And what would be your payment? 4/5 of the crop you will keep, and 20%, a fifth of the crop, chamishis leparoi. Chassidus explains that first of all, Paroi is a level from Perua Rosh, something that's open and revealed. The Spiriu Vizgalim Menei Kol Nahorin, that it's opened and revealed from it all the lights. The level of godliness, that's such a great revelation, the revelation of Paroi, is Gilui Bechinas HaChamishis. It's a revelation of the fifth level. The fifth level is the higher than the four levels of Yud Kei Vav Kei. That's higher than the four letters of Yud Kei Vav Kei. As we know, the four letters of Yud Kei Vav Kei correspond to the four worlds of Atzilus, Bri, Yitzir, Asiya, and in Atzilus itself, it corresponds to four different levels in Atzilus. But the fifth level shows that transcends all of this. That's the name Yud Kei Vav Kei of Mashiach's times. That's way higher and comparable to the Shem Havai of Matan Torah. And the Rebbe says very geschmack in footnote 54. Let's jump to the bottom of the page, to footnote 54. It's a very geschmack word over here. He says, Umerum is Gamba Parshas Va'era. This is also hinted in Parshas Va'era, this higher level. The Rebbe was saying it's hinted in Parshas Boy, the ultimate highest level, the level of Havai, it's hard to say the Shtalshlus, because it's Boy El Paroi, the highest level, etc., etc. In truth, it's already hinted in Parshas Va'era. After the four expressions of redemption that Hashem told the Yidden, I will take them out, I will save them, and I will redeem them, I will take them. Then it says a fifth expression, I will bring them. Kais Chamishi, it's the fifth cup. As we know, the four cups by the Seder correspond to the four expressions, and the fifth non-drunk cup, the one that we don't drink from, because that's indicating a future time of a Geulah that we haven't yet experienced, that's hinted in the word Ve'evesi. It's also called Kasa de Malka Mashiach, it's also the cup of King Moshiach. Shu Inyan Achamishis Lepare, that is the fifth that we said before. It has to do with Parei. Let's go back into the text, second paragraph on the second column. Allah Hoysef, and to add, Parshas Boy, he Parsha Ashlishis B'Sefer Shmois. Parshas Boy is the third parsha in the Sefer Shmois. Sefer Shmois, Chumash Shmois, is Sefer HaGeula. The Ramban calls it the Book of Redemption, which is very interesting, even though it's only the first four parshas speak about the Yidden being redeemed from Mitzrayim, and yet the entire Sefer, the Ramban calls it Sefer HaGeula. Yesh Loimer, we could say, Sheremezes Gam Ala Geula Hashlishis V'Anitzchis, when you call this Sefer Shmois, the Sefer HaGeula, you're not just referring to the Geulah from Mitzrayim, the redemption from Egypt, but also you're referring to the third redemption and the everlasting redemption, especially since it's the third parsha in the Sefer HaGeula. The third parsha, Parshas Bo, the third parsha in the Sefer HaGeula, that means it's talking about there's different redemptions. This is redemption number 3, the final redemption, the everlasting redemption. Like it says, he makes us live from 2 days. Those are 2 redemptions, the redemption from Mitzrayim, the redemption from Bavel, and then in the third day, meaning the third redemption, the third revelation, he will raise us up and we will live before him, not just like the Chayenu Miyamayim, but we'll have the ultimate level of life. Last paragraph. More specifically, Gimla Parshas, Shmois Va'era Boy, the 3 parshas of Shmois Va'era Boy, Hem Keneged HaGimel HaTkufas HaKlolius. These correspond to the 3 general eras. Lifnei Matan Torah, that is Shmois. Matan Torah, that's Va'era. Ula Asid Lavei, the future times, that is in the idea of the future redemption. And the Rebbe in footnote 58 connects these 3 levels also with the beginning of our parsha, where it says Ve'era El Avram El Yitzchak Yaakov. So he says that the level of Yaakov, it says that has to do with the third Beis Hamikdash, the third Geulah has to do with Yaakov Avinu, Matan Torah has to do with brought down with Yitzchak, and the period of time before Matan Torah has to do with Avram Avinu, that he was the preparation for this. Top of the next page, next column, okay, and then he says Parshas Shmois Sheba Medubar Oides Shibud Mitzrayim. Kura Barzel, Shayodin Asa Chonelman Torah. The Parsha Shmois, it speaks about the enslavement in Mitzrayim, which is likened to an iron furnace, an iron smelter that's used to refine and remove the dross and the waste product that there is in precious metals. So the same thing, this was a preparation of the Yidden, Shayodin Asa Chonelman Torah, through this smelter became the preparation for the Yidden to be able to receive the Torah. In other words, Parshas Shmois, Hamayim Damatzav Shifnei Matan Torah. Parshas Shmois is the state and situation of the Yidden prior to the giving of the Torah. Parshas Va'era, and Mo'el B'nei Yisrael, Ani Avaya Goyim V'yadaitim Ken Ani Avaya. Tell the B'nei Yisrael, I'm Avaya. You will know that I'm the Avaya. So we said, when will that knowledge of Avaya manifest? When did that knowledge of Avaya manifest? Hagilui de Matan Torah, that's a revelation of the giving of the Torah. Parshas Boy El Paroi, what we said, come to Pari, which the Zohar says, this is B'diyu, is Kali B'nei Kol Nohid. It's a level where it becomes opened up and revealed from it all the lights, Hamayim the Matz of the loss of love, the state and situation of Moshiach's times. And the Rebbe says also that we have in our Parsha alone, just like Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, the continuation of that previous footnotes, and the footnote over here as well, the Rebbe continues and says that just like Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov is the three periods, Avram is before Matan Torah, Yitzchak is Matan Torah, and Yaakov is the third Beis HaMikdash, so too in the revelations of Yud Kei Vav Kei, when it begins and says that I appeared to the Avis with Kael Shindal Yud, and I didn't let them know my Shem Havaya. That is only the preparation for the Shem Havaya of Matan Torah. Then where it says Ember Bnei Yisrael on the Havaya Daitim Kan the Havaya, that's the revelation of Havaya Matan Torah like we just now said. And then when it concludes the parsha, it says Ve'veisi Eschem El Haaretz, I will bring you to the land, the fifth expression of redemption on the Havaya. That's Geulah Shem Havaya L'Asad Lavei. That's, as we said, the fifth cup, the fifth expression of redemption. That's referring to the number 5, which is higher than Yud Kei Vav Kei, the 4 letters. The ultimate revelation of Moshiach's times. It should come immediately.